Complex. Complex. Complex.
Hearing all this, that, and this, and that. Tell the truth, nigga. Whack. Your top 10 is anonymous. Your top 10 is anonymous.
Complex.
Your top 10 is anonymous.
What's poppin', pimp? This is your boy AJ Dubs here to motivate, inspire, and dedicate my service to helping you create your legacy. I tell the stories of wise situations to those who want to be wise, because wise men learn from others' mistakes or triumphs. Today's story is the student who taught the teacher. I'll say it again. The student who taught the teacher. At this time, there was a teacher who was about 28 years old. You know, we grew up very happy at times. You know, very happy person, joyful. You know, had a lot of great times, always smiling. Then it got to a point when he got to a certain age where all those times started to die out. There was barely ever a smile on his face anywhere he went, because the harshness of reality started to hit him. But it wasn't quite that. It was just that he was having hard times that really wasn't that big of a deal. As time went by, the main thing he was looking for was success. And he found there was success with new struggles. Every time you make it to another level, there's going to be a new problem or hurdle to get over. He started looking at life with resentment, anger, and just not in a good mood. So as time went, continued to go by, in his mind, he just started to feel like this was all that there was for him. He couldn't see the future. He couldn't see that there was much more to him. And it's funny, man, because like I said, when you go through things, for people who, have faith or who, into spiritual things, that you can give it all to God or to the universe, what have you. Like I said, he was looking for an answer. Now, he knew that he was going to be uncomfortable trying to figure this out. So one day he got on his knees and asked God for an answer, or for a sign to stay focused on what he wanted. Every day, man, he would continue to just pray that there was more for him, but he just didn't know what it was. So fast forward, as time went by, he just needed something new. So he figured out that he needed to work on himself a little bit more. He started going and, working out. He went and actually wrote down a daily gratitude journal. Start building his character. Start making up his bed every morning, every time before he got out of bed. Well, once he got out of bed. But still, you get the point. And it seemed like he just wasn't getting anywhere at times. And he just kept asking for a sign. So as he kept going to school, teaching the students, the actual lessons that he was teaching, he started to realize that there were more lessons that he needed to learn. He just didn't know where it was going to come from. But one day he went out with some of his friends, and one of his friends brought his son with him. And the boy was about 14 years old, but very wise beyond his age. So at one time he was standing outside the building because, he was just taking a break, just trying to take a deep breath. And, even though he had his problems, he didn't want to talk to anybody about it. And this 14-year-old young boy who was a student in school comes outside and sees the face of the teacher. So the teacher just had a small conversation with him. It wasn't even about his problems. That was the funny thing about it. He was just trying to hide it and disguise it. Just trying to keep from diving deep into those problems because, he figured that he could figure it out. Like I said, he was just asking God for a sign on how he could be a better man, or how he could actually work on his legacy and, try to find that happiness and peace that he's looking for. And this as the conversation went by, the young student said to him, one thing that people seem to forget as life goes on, you should never lose the feeling of being in your youth. People forget that all the time. Always have fun, because you only get one chance at this. Now, let's just stop the tape there on that. Would you even think that would come from a 14-year-old? That's how you know he was wise beyond his years. So the teacher looked at him, with wide eyes, then looked off into space. He felt enlightenment from what that student told him. He realized that he forgot that life is so precious and that we only got one when we get on this earth. So he looked at the student and said, you know what? I don't think you know what you just said to me. That lifted a lot of pressure, a lot of hard times off of me. Even the student looked at him and didn't even know, like I said, he didn't know what he said to him, but he can tell he made a breakthrough through him because he saw what was going on with that teacher. And further along, the teacher never forgot that lesson because he realized that even he can learn something at his age, that you're never too old to learn something and be able to take it and make it as your own, no matter what the age of the person that told you that thing. So the point is this: you only get one chance at this thing. Enjoy every speck of it. When you go in your house, enjoy every speck of your apartment, your house, your townhome, your condo. If you got a speck of dust in the corner, be thankful and grateful for that. Be grateful that you can get out of your bed every morning and be able to work on your dream. Be grateful that you're able to get up and breathe, because that's the breath of life and the breath of God, or the breath of the universe for those who are not spiritual and for those who are, either way. Now, if you have any problems, challenges, or struggles, make sure you email me at originsxlegacies@gmail.com. I'd love to read your stories and be able to help you on your first step to working toward your future and your legacy. Also, check out the clothing line. That's originsandlegacies.com. Get your fresh t-shirt, Join the Revolution. Some nice shirts under $20. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Keep it pimpin'. Delicious.
Another million buried, that's thanks to my accountants. Hello world, I would like you to meet our worst nightmare on any Black Wall Street. I mastered the paper trail.